Thing about what happened in Australia with, I understood that when this legislation was rolled out there, that Facebook shut down all of the content for Australia. And so I think, it's important for us to make sure that doesn't happen. If the same thing occurs in Canada, it would be bad because 22 million Canadians are on Meta, Facebook. So can you describe what happened there and what measures we're putting in place to make sure that doesn't happen here?
Watch the Heritage Minister squirm when answering this question, and he won't take responsibility as usual. You want us to sign the bill without knowing what or who is excluded. The Heritage Minister is trying to pass a censorship bill blindly. Please like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and most of all, comment down below. Here's the clip.
I want to start by talking about the criteria that the government is going to use to determine who's a qualified news organization. Because we heard from the CRTC today that that's not their job to determine. And in your response to Mr. Shampoo, you said it wasn't for you to determine, but at the start you said that when you're going to publish the list of the digital news intermediaries and the criteria for selecting them. So what criteria is the government going to use to say who's a qualified organization?
It's in the bill, it's in section 27. When I say we're going to publish, it's at the end, based on those criteria, then some news organizations will going to be included and some others not, and in the end, you will know.
Right, but we're being asked to approve the bill without knowing what the criteria is or who the list of people that are excluded
the criteria are
is.
there. They're in the bill, the criteria.
Well, let's talk a little bit about them because it says that you're going to focus on general news outlets. So I'm interested in knowing then who is going to be excluded. Could you give some examples of the people that you're thinking to exclude?
Well, Ms. Ledoux, I don't think it's up to me to decide and name organizations that would not be included or included. As you know, the concept of the bill is to stay as arm's length as possible, just to put like a table in the middle with criteria, and then the platforms that are included negotiate with the news. How do you say that? Les médias qui sont inclus.
The included media.
So I don't understand then, because you've said that you were going to publish a list of the digital news intermediaries. And then you said it wasn't for you to pick. So I guess it sounds like some people will be excluded, and it's not clear who that is. But how is the government picking which people will be excluded in any way? Freedom of the press.
Freedom of the press, it's uphold exactly because I'm not the one picking and deciding, and the government is not doing that. So you have a set of criteria, Ms. Ledoux, that would determine which platform is in a dominant position and will be included, right? For example, it could be Google, it could be Facebook, but there's a set of criteria that go over and determine that. And then there's a set of criteria that would determine which are the news outlets that will be included. So I'm not picking on one or refusing another one. And at the end of the day, those that are included on both sides, they get together and they negotiate.
Okay, so if an organization feels like they are being excluded, what is the complaint mechanism to resolve that?
They can go to the CRTC and try to justify their case.
Okay. And could you tell me something about what happened in Australia with, I understood that when this legislation was rolled out there, that Facebook shut down all of the content for Australia. And so I think, it's important for us to make sure that doesn't happen. If the same thing occurs in Canada, it would be bad because 22 million Canadians are on Meta, Facebook. So can you describe what happened there and what measures we're putting in place to make sure that doesn't happen here?
Well, it's a business decision that has to be taken by the platform. In that case, Facebook took out the news content. They took it out, but they decided to bring it back. I think that Facebook has an important relationship with Kenyans. They have many Kenyans. I'm pretty sure everyone here on the screen has a Facebook page, and at the end of the day, it's up to them to make a decision. But this is only asking Facebook and Google, or whoever qualifies based on the independent criteria, to compensate the production of news that is produced by a professional that has quality, and because we have to uphold the freedom of the press and a strong and independent press. We need it for our democracy, Ms. Gladue.
Oh, for sure. I absolutely agree. I mean, it's only communist nations where the government determines, who is the state media so that they can put their propaganda out. For sure, we don't want that here. I think we want to have Facebook. I think we want to have Facebook, come and talk to the committee so that we can learn from them and make sure that we don't repeat the same mistakes that they had. I'm also concerned about these larger companies, Rogers, CBC, Bell, getting the lion's share, because I think the noble intent of the bill is to try to protect the smaller media outlets. And I realize I'm out of time. Thank you, Minister.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'm